Okay, so some of the small creators that I follow, who I really love and find so inspirational, have constantly said that everything you do is a potential opportunity to film and vlog. And although I'm not trying to do a vlog because who the hell cares about my life realistically except for me, I thought I would share about how I've had a lot of really disappointing news in the past few weeks that have honestly kind of affected me mentally, especially yesterday came kind of to like a culmination. And usually I allow myself to go down like a dark, like mental spiral. And I decided that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to refocus. I'm going to take a walk out in nature by the water because everybody says that walks by the water and in nature help clear your mind and help you think better. And so that's what we're going to do. I came for a nice hike to help clear my mind and motivate me. And this weekend I'm going to enjoy with my children and relax. And Monday I'm going to go into action mode and implement into action a plan that I've made to help make my goal come into fruition. And it might not happen in a month or 2 months, but it's going to happen and I'm going to do it and I'm not going to give up because people usually give up halfway through a goal, and that's why lots of people don't achieve grandiose things that others who do achieve grand things do, because a lot of us give up, and more than even before we hit halfway. The closer you get to your goal, the harder it actually gets to accomplish. And so if it's not hard and it's not dark and looking gloomy and grim, then that means you're nowhere near your goal. So I'm just here to share that life is not perfect for any of us. And sorry, I'm not looking at the camera because I don't want to fall down all these like steps that are here. And we can do it. And I'm just gonna enjoy this brisk, like beautiful day and just enjoy for what it is. Like, so what? What I wanted to happen didn't happen. I haven't perished from this earth. I still have my health. My children are happy and healthy. My family is happy and healthy. And I live somewhere where I have food and shelter and water, unlike lots of other people in this world don't right now. And this is my view. Like, I'm in like untouched woods with the view of beautiful, serene water. Like, what do I have to complain about in my life that I didn't get what I wanted? It's okay. I'll get it. We'll get it. And it might take a little bit more work, but we'll get there. Sorry guys, I know I like said bye earlier, but I just thought I would share this like view with you guys. It's just, I feel like the camera, well, right now I'm filming on my iPhone, but it just doesn't do this view any justice. None. I'm back. I'm gonna film the rest, or try to film this here. I mean, just like, look, what better background for a YouTube video could there be than this? Honestly, I don't know how long I'll last because it's really cold out here. But anyway, like I was saying, I think a lot of us on here don't talk about failure as much as we do about how to not be a failure. 6 ways to succeed at life. Give me 5 minutes of your life and I'll help you change your life forever. Listen to this for 2 minutes for the ultimate motivation. A video to help procrastinators get motivated in life. And you know what? None of that's real. It's all BS. You just have to wake up in the morning and want to live life and achieve your goals. And that's the truth. Realize that your happiness is truly the most important thing in this world. And I know it's not selfish, especially coming from someone who's a mom, but you cannot fill from a cup half empty. And it's such a cliche saying. And there's a reason why it's a cliche. It's a cliche because it's true. Because you cannot give of yourself to others when you're empty and you have nothing to give. And so that's, I think, the key. The key is to be happy with yourself, to be happy even with your failures, and understand, you know what? A failure means that I tried something, I attempted something, because if I had not attempted or tried, I would have failed at it. I just would have been a loser who complained in life about how I never achieved anything, but I never tried it. Years, maybe even more, because I can't remember the last time I uploaded a video when I had an older niche. For like 2 years, I kept saying I was going to do it. And did I? I didn't. I did it until now. And I can't tell you how many times I procrastinated filming a video because, again, look, I'm literally wearing no makeup. I would be like, oh, I don't want to film with no makeup. I look horrible. And my hair is naturally super curly, which I love, but I feel very uncomfortable with. I have dark circles in real life, and I'm very self-conscious about them. And I would just make excuses about not to film it. Oh, my kids are around and it's too loud and there's too much noise and I can't find an empty bedroom to film in. And I made every excuse in the book. So, when I was originally filming this, I was on a walk by the water and I had one of those like moments where you have such an amazing train of thought. Everything you were thinking that you wanted to say, you said. And then I came back to edit the video and I realized my microphone wasn't connected and I had no sound. And so I'm going to try to re-record this whole part and kind of make sense of what the first half of my video was. But I think what I wanted to share was we harp a lot on our failures. And a lot of these YouTubers that we see here, all they do is talk about success. Like how to grow your YouTube, how to make $1,000 in a weekend, how to make $10,000 in 1 month, how to stop procrastinating. It's all this like self-help motivation nonsense, which I do share some of that on my channel, but I feel like I'm just a normal everyday person who has had tons of failures in my life, probably more than success. And I just wanted to share that there is no shame in sharing our failures. For example, I wanted to be a doctor my entire life. I planned out my entire life. I knew when I went to college what degree I wanted to do. I knew I had to take pre-med classes. I knew I had to take an MCAT. I knew I had to go to medical school. I went to medical school. I did everything I was supposed to do. And then I failed one of my board exams. I ended up struggling in some of my rotations. And then that led me to kind of take like a sabbatical. And during that sabbatical, I met my husband, I got married, I had kids, and then time flew and I realized I'm not doing much with my life. I was working in like administration and healthcare, which, yeah, I used some of my education, but ultimately was nothing that I wanted to do with my life. And so I finally had one of those moments where I was like, I'm a loser. I haven't done anything I wanted to do. I went to school for something that I ended up not even doing. I've always wanted to be a doctor, and why am I not? Why are there people in the world out there who are definitely less qualified than me and they're doing what they want with their lives and I'm not? And so I decided I'm going to finish everything and finally, aim for my goal. And it was not easy. When you have a huge gap, just like in a resume, when you have a huge gap, it makes it way harder to get back into the medical field. And so I definitely spent a lot of time redoing lots of things. And to be honest with you, there were many times that I was just like, I need to give up. I need to accept my fate. This is just it, I'm never going to make it. And then I would have days where I'm like, why do I allow myself to think like that? I have to motivate myself. I have to focus. And so I want everyone out here who's watching this to realize that there's nothing wrong with us. We're normal. We're human. We fail a lot. And we learn from every failure. For me to get the position that I wanted, I had to go through a lot of different gates. And there were certain people who didn't want to allow me through. And so I had to be very persistent, call people, do jobs that I didn't want to do, roles that I didn't think I should have to do that were, I don't want to use the term beneath me, but I was definitely highly overqualified for, and I decided I was going to do it anyway because if that's what I had to do to get what I wanted, I was going to do it. Although I will say this, I think when you're going through a journey like this, having a good support system is very important. And yes, I know I'm very blessed. Not everybody has a good support system. I have my husband, my parents, and I have a few very select close friends that I share literally everything with. And I owe a lot to these friends. Even the place I'm in right now in my life is due to one specific friend that I've had for over 20 years. And I just want to share some of that. He has been my best friend for over 20 years. And we went to college together. We went to medical school together. We did a lot of things together. He ended up finishing school, getting into his preferred like specialty and becoming a practicing physician. And I think one day we were having a coffee and he sat me down and he looked me literally directly in my eyes and was just like, what are you doing with your life? And to be honest with you, I am not somebody who's very emotional and I don't really cry. And I started crying because I felt like he felt what I was feeling. He knew I was feeling inadequate and like a loser and like I hadn't accomplished anything I had set out to do. And he asked me to reflect on what am I doing with my life. And it was something I didn't want to reflect on. I had done so many things to avoid thinking about that, if you understand what I'm talking about. Like, I fulfilled my life with so many unnecessary things in order not to reflect on why am I not doing what I want to be doing. And in that moment, after I started crying for a bit, he was just like, you are such a smart person. You are capable of anything you want to do, especially being a doctor. And I think you would be an amazing physician. And I think it's a shame that you haven't like put your mind to it and done it. And as condescending maybe or like demeaning as I felt it wasn't. It was just him telling me that he knew I was capable of doing what I wanted, and it was a shame that I wasn't. And this honestly made me do a big U-turn in my life. And this made me make a huge U-turn in my life and start reflecting on what I needed to get done. And so I sat down, I got my little agenda book, I made a plan, and I set out to accomplish everything. Am I still not where I want to be fully? I'm not, but I'm definitely 80% there. Will there be things in my life that I will constantly think of and come up with and feel like, oh, I haven't accomplished this, so I can't be happy yet. I'm not at the hospital I want to be, so I can't be happy yet. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm just giving an example. I'm not making the salary that I've dreamt I want to make, and so I'm an unhappy person. And I just want to say that if we're constantly living in that comparison mode of, I'm not making enough money, I'm not doing the goal that I want to do, we will get stuck in this loop of just constantly being ungrateful. And we need to be grateful. We need to be grateful for the life we have. There are people in this world who have no food, no shelter. Some of the most basic parts of our life are a blessing. And so I'm trying to reflect on that and be content with the blessings I have. What I want to achieve, I have to set my mind to and accomplish. I don't want this channel to be nonsense and, sharing fake self-help stuff. I want to share things that I'm genuinely really passionate about and that I've gone through myself. And one of the things I've gone through in my life is just feeling inadequate. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm the best wife. I don't feel like I'm being the best mother. I don't feel like I'm giving my kids the attention that they need all the time. I feel like I'm scrolling too much instead of paying attention to the things I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, I have countless things I can share that I'm sure we're all really guilty of. I just want this to be real. I want to share real life. And life is not perfect. It's not going to always be perfect. I'm going to share with you all of the ups and downs. As I accomplish things and how I accomplish them, I'm going to share them because am I a authority and an all-knowing person on everything? No, but there's definitely some things I know better than other people and things that I might be able to help you guys with because I've already experienced it and had to go through it. And so maybe what I share with you can help you skip all of the things that I had to do or maybe get there faster. And I hope this helps you guys, and I hope you continue watching.